So it should work perfectly fine right here. Boom. Welcome back to another tutorial in React and Metal. Now today we're going to be making a much more simpler tutorial compared to our other ones, and it's basically just making a kill brick. So a brick where if you touch it, you die. It's very self-explanatory. We're going to be changing it a bit, customizing it, and it's going to be very simple. So I hope you actually understand everything that I do in this video or all the script that I make. So basically, we're going to be making it from scratch. Now obviously you can insert it from models. Maybe that's more easier, but I'm just gonna. This is mostly this for educational purposes. So I'm gonna teach you how you can make it by yourself. So we're gonna have a part, insert, and just rename it to anything. I'm gonna rename it to kill brick, but kill brick is kind of generic. We're gonna do death part. All right. So you have the death part right here, and you can resize it. You can change the properties of it. So, example, like the brick color, or the color 3. So you can choose from a spectrum. You can choose like neon, or this is the materials. So like you can choose anything. Neon is what they use in lobbies. This is basically for lobbies. Let's see, Marvel. Okay, you get the idea right here. I have to zoom in to see the actual material. We're going to be using the neon actually, because that's more of what they use in obby games. Okay, so we have this brick right here. There's also transparency. I don't think this really affects. You can kind of see it's kind of transparent. Let's change this to 0. Oops. You want to make this usually for death bricks. You usually want them to be anchored. Can collide. It doesn't really matter. You can put it off if you want. Can collide whether or not it collides with the player and other parts. And that's really all that's relevant to brick part or brick part, death part, kill brick, whatever. All right, let's go in the script. Insert a script, easy server script. So basically, this is a script. We're gonna do some variables. So we're gonna define the part. So local. Oh, actually, I think they updated it for some reason. Yeah, hold on. That looks weird. That looks weird, dude. That is so sus, man. Anyways, we're gonna do part equals script.parent, which is the part right here, a death part, and we're gonna be making an event or calling an event basically, and it's part.touched. Yeah, this is a new. They made for some reason it's like a new. Whatever. So part.touch should appear in the drop down, and we're going to connect this to a function. So basically, let me just finish this right here. Touched connect function, and the second last bracket you want to press enter. Okay, and then you see the end. So basically, when the part is touched, now this is an event inside the part, so it fires whenever it's touched by anything. It doesn't have to be a player though to fire, by the way. And then we connect this to a function. Now this function is what we want to do is we want to make the player die, but it doesn't always. So this part right here, like another part can touch this. For example, this base plate is touching this part, but we don't want the event to fire, even though this base plate is still touching this or whatever. It has to be any. It can be any part, but we don't want the event to fire when this base plate is touching the part. So we want to check whether or not if the thing that touched it is a player. So we can do that by defining a variable local player, and then we set it to hold a second. Oh, sorry, forgot. Before all that, we actually want to put a parameter here, which is hit, and this parameter is lets us know, or lets the script know whatever touches it, and we set whatever touches it to this variable inside the brackets. So this is the argument, and hit is whatever hit or touched, I should say, touched the part. So we can set this to a variable local player equal game the get player from character. Oh, hold on a second. Get player from character. Game.player. Sorry. Game.players, not place ID. Yeah, this is weird. Game.players, because there's a new update. Get player get player from character, hit dot parent. So what we do here is we check if the hit dot parent, so the thing that touches the part, and the parent of that, which would be the character if it's a player, and we get the player from the character. So basically, let's say, I don't know, should I just touch this? Okay, let's test this. Let's actually test this right here. So this is me, right? Okay, in the workspace, you can see this. Now this is my character. Okay, this is my character. Inside this, you have different body parts. So when a body part touches this brick, it's going to detect, well, okay, so whatever hit it is this, for example, a body part. So for example, right foot. Now we check if this, its parent, is the character, which is mine's, and we get the character, or we get the player from that character. So the player would be me, Recur, right? Because that's my character. And it really, so far it does nothing, right? Because we don't actually have to script the death function right here. But this is just so you this for acts as an explanation. So right here, any part that touches it, we want to check whether or not the parent of the hit is a character, and we get the player from that character. So in that case, we're going to be making a if statement. So if player, then actually we're going to do if player. So therefore, if it's a player that touched the part, which we got from the character, right? Then we can fire whatever it is, so we don't have any future errors. Then we can do local humanoid, because we need the humanoid, equals player. Actually, let's first, before, actually no, we don't really need that. We only need player. We can just do hit, or hold on, not whatever, player that character, wait for child. I don't think you need wait for child actually. Whatever, wait for child, humanoid, doesn't matter. That still work either way. Okay, so we got the humanoid. Now humanoid is what we can do to manipulate the health of the player. So we can do humanoid.health, which is the health of the humanoid, of the character, of the player. So we can just do minus equals, or you can actually do this minus equals 100, for example, or you just set it to 0. Now this kills the player, but obviously, oh yeah, that's really it actually. Of course, there are many ways you can change this if you want. It doesn't have to be set to 0. You can maybe take damage but not kill the player entirely. But we're gonna test this out right now. And we might need a cooldown. I'm not sure, but you could add a cooldown, but I don't think you should. So it should work perfectly fine right here. Boom. So it's actually pretty simple. This is one of the most simplest script, the simplest tutorial I ever made. But let's say we want to change that bit. So let's say we want the part to take damage, or the part to take damage. No, the part to so if we want to make the part so if a player touches it, they take damage. Okay, well we can do minus equals like what we did before. Minus equals 50, so it takes two hits. But again, that's you probably need a cooldown. So let's actually, just in case, let's do a cooldown. Cooldown equals false. Player and cooldown, then we do wait for the cooldown. So let's wait 1. Humanoid cooldown equals true. Equals what was I? Oh, sorry. So dumb. Cooldown equals false. Actually, you should change this to cooldown equals false. Then we set the cooldown to true. Equal true. Okay. So there's a cooldown every time a player tests it. But since this is in a server, I mean, it won't really affect the damage. I don't say it's a big deal, but like it's just like it could affect other players too. So the cooldown could be also applied for other players. I'm just saying. So if you do want to strictly affect only one player, you might need a client script, but that's too complicated for this tutorial. But just so you know, this is a cooldown. It basically gives the brick a cooldown, because when you touch it, you're gonna touch it like you're inevitably gonna touch it like more than once, like easily, because you have so many body parts and you're really just touching it like almost instantaneously, so it's not gonna really affect. So like having 50, it's not gonna really be a big deal. You're gonna be dying instantly anyways. Like if you don't believe, like, let's say we don't have this cooldown right here. Let's say we don't have this cooldown, so comment this out. Or actually no, comment this out. Let's say you don't have a cooldown. So the cooldown is right now, it won't affect us right now. So let's say it has the, so we take damage from the part, but we don't have a cooldown. It's gonna kill us instantly. If you don't believe me, well, even though we only minus 50, so even we only took 50 damage, we already died because we touched it, and because we have so many body parts, and on top of that, really like we walked on it, so we're already touching it more than once. It killed us automatically. So if there is a cooldown, it would be much easier for us to not die instantly. So let's see right here. Okay, so we only got hit once because of the cooldown. We didn't die instantly. Then we die a second time. Oh, actually, I think we healed a bit. Did we? Yeah, we healed a bit. Yeah, we regenerated our health. But yeah, this is why we need a cooldown. So yeah, you can obviously change this to 0.1 if you want. Anyways, back to our humanoid health. Now, if you don't understand this is the same as saying humanoid health minus 50. Same exact thing. This is just more efficient, obviously. Another way of doing this is do humanoid. I think it's health dot take damage or humanoid dot damage 50. I'm not sure it's health or humanoid. This might be wrong. It's the same exact thing. Honestly, there's literally no difference. Oh yeah, it's actually, I think it's take damage, or I think it's humanoid dot take damage. I'm so confused. I think I've seen this before, but I don't know. Yeah, so it takes damage, so we do humanoid dot take damage. It's the same exact thing, honestly. I mean, to be honest, there's no like reason. I mean, it's the same exact thing. Like, there's no, I don't see a difference between the two of them, two different command lines. So you have that, and there's also like break joints, but there's really no reason to use that if you can just manipulate the health. Obviously, you can do humanoid health. Oops, capitalize health. So minus equal. I mean, you can do 40 this time. You can do 10. You can do 75 if you want more damage. But yeah. Let's change this to 0.1 so it's cooler. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial, because this tutorial is mostly just an educational one, it's not really like, I mean, obviously you can just insert a death brick from like a toolbox or something, so it's not really that complicated. It's more for educational purposes. Let's show the basics of scripting, and this is really simple, so I think you should understand everything I did in this video. Anyways, if you want more, give me suggestions in the comments section. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. So I hope you like and subscribe. I want to see you guys in the next one.